Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Spee here, and today we're going to be looking at Ana's PUDGE. He went 6-0 in this game against Fnatic, and I really like this item build. He actually went for a Crimson Guard Shivas against a Monkey King Beastmaster comp. Really did well in his lane, dominated the game, and honestly the confidence from his PUDGE was crazy. There's this one play in this game where he just just ran into a Monkey King ring and he took no damage, so he was definitely correct, but I was like, watching the game, I'm like, he's gonna die, right? Like, he's running into a Monkey King ring. He just took no damage whatsoever. I don't know, it was just hilarious to me. And yeah, nonetheless, we're gonna talk about it, analyze it, see what makes him so good at this hero, and let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm gonna be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below, I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so I do want to quickly start with the draft. I'm going to spend very little time on this, but briefly cover the matchups that enable a PUDGE pick, or make them want to pick PUDGE in the first place. So let's get into it. Alright, so they end up picking it in a response to a Dazzle Rubik Beastmaster in Puck. And I actually like it a lot, and the reason why is they kind of do a very set amount of damage on Fnatic. Honestly, like, their heroes are, it's not that they're low DPS, they're kind of just like it's very pokey. And it's kind of hard to poke PUDGE. Sure, you can try to bait out his Flesh Heap, but Poison Touch does no damage to PUDGE, Rubik does practically nothing. Beastmaster's units get negated by Vanguard and Flesh Heap almost entirely. Puck isn't horrible against PUDGE. I think the silence to prevent a potential Flesh Heap usage is good, but they have the Wyvern save, they have a Nyx Assassin to set up for hooks and initiations, so I think it honestly is the perfect PUDGE game. Low damage on Fnatic, and on top of that, they have good setup and save on RNG. I especially love save with PUDGE. I think Dazzle PUDGE is really good, Wyvern PUDGE, Oracle PUDGE, Dazzle and Wyvern being the two most meta ones right now are very powerful. Alright, getting into the laning stage, in terms of starting items, we actually have a Fairy Fire, Stick, Tango's 2 branches, and a Gauntlet of Strength here, so a pretty well-rounded build. I think it's good, you know, nothing too much to say, it's just a well-rounded build, nothing fancy. Alright, so the main thing that I noticed about Ana's gameplay that I think is very important for succeeding on PUDGE is a general passive playstyle. In fact, he doesn't even skill Flesh Heap until level 4, and honestly, until you have Flesh Heap, your hero is actually not that good at trading. Like, he does look for a kill onto DJ there and nearly gets it, but you can see in return, he actually took the majority of his health pool, because Rot just crushes you unless you use the Flesh Heap active. If you aren't familiar with the current version of PUDGE, basically Flesh Heap, your third ability, not only gives you bonus strength when you get kills like the old PUDGE, but it gives you damage block when you activate it. It's an active ability, and so every single time you get hit by a spell, a boar, a hero, whatever it is, anything that does damage to you gets blocked to an extent. And damage over time spells, every instance gets blocked. So something like Skywrath ulti, Clockwork Q, every single instance gets blocked, and that is why PUDGE hard counters certain heroes, and he's pretty good against these unit heroes like Beastmaster and like Lycan, because he can rush a Vanguard and just basically have a guaranteed good lane against those heroes with Flesh Heap and with Hook to actually hook their units. Funny enough, I didn't show it to you guys, but he did hook boars throughout this lane. Now, the next thing I want to mention is he's really playing for a later timing. As we talked about, he traded a little bit, almost went for a kill on the Rubik, but in this lane, he's got a Nyx Assassin in his lane. Nyx Assassin doesn't really do anything for PUDGE, right? I mean, can you set up a hook? Maybe, but there's no follow-up damage from there. It's very underwhelming. If you happen to be laning something like an Enchantress or a Wyvern, or I would say a really good example is Dazzle, then you can get aggressive on an earlier timing. Especially at level 4, that is your main kill timing when you are 1-2-1. At level 5, you want to have 3 points in Rot, and you're really playing for this Vanguard timing. Now, he's got his Vanguard, and this is when you're unkillable. The damage block from Flesh Heap and Vanguard work extremely well together, and as a result, you take no damage from autos, essentially. On top of that, you take no damage from camps, which is really nice as well, because the Rot gets blocked by your Flesh Heap, and the Vanguard blocks the rest of the damage from the creeps. So when you have Vanguard, you should start jungling. It's as simple as that. Once you get the Vanguard, you can jungle. You can actually jungle before Vanguard. In fact, Ana even hooked a large creep, a Troll Summoner, at some point in this lane, so you can do that as well. You just gotta be careful, because it costs a bit of mana to actually do that. So if it's a passive lane, it's great to hook the large camp. If it's an active lane and you're going for kills, I would slow down the pace, slow down the pace of hooking large creeps and play for kills. In terms of skill build, you also notice he doesn't max Rot by 7. He goes back for the second point in Flesh Heap, and I think this is the correct skill build, because Rot actually starts doing damage to you again once it hits level 3 if your Flesh Heap is level 1. So I really love this skill build. From there, the Prophet helps him take the tower, and he's just gonna jungle. Don't make the game complicated. If you're playing Pudge on either Dire or Radiant, it really doesn't matter. You should be basically only jungling, right? Push out waves, take camps. Can you get kills? Of course you can get kills. If some lonely support level 3 walks into you, you can hook them and kill them. But the main advantage of Pudge is actually his flash farming, and players don't get this. Ana has no kills, no assists at minute 10, and trust me, he's happy with the state of the game. Look at the net worth! He's way ahead! The puck is literally 600 gold behind him. He's so far ahead, and that's the power of the Pudge. On top of that, last thing I'd like to note about jungling, don't be afraid to dismember camps. It's really good. It lasts bonus duration against creeps. I don't know why, but it does. And so it like full heals you. It's really, really strong. Good mechanic to understand. So the next tip for a good Pudge gameplay is what we're going to see from Ana here. So I really want you guys to analyze this clip very closely and see everything he does to make this a good play. First of all, you want to pop your phase boots and pig pole at the same time for the maximum movement speed. And this is the most important part. So when you get lifted, you want to end up on the cliff. Very, very important to amplify your farming speed. From there, when this play actually happens, you got to get a little bit creative, right? So you're going to start to hook the medium camp for efficiency. So yeah, when this play ends up happening, just make sure you keep that efficiency up. Keep hooking the mud golems here. Even Ana's a little bit inefficient at this point of the game, so kind of embarrassing on his part to not be hooking the mud golem. There we go. There we go. Really efficient there. About 10 gold per minute. It's a pretty good play. All right, in terms of follow-up items, it's very important to buy a casual cloak. I cannot stress this enough. I hate that players do not do this. If you buy casual cloak, you will not take damage from Ags when you get it. Might as well just buy the cloak early game to also ensure that if a fight breaks out and you do decide to show up where you get ganked, that you are more than survivable. So please buy cloak on Pudge. It is extremely powerful. Very, very good. From there, you're gonna get your Ags, and he's still done nothing until now. So clearly you can see the idea. This hero scales. You don't have to be too active. And if you do this in your pubs, you'll probably own, to be honest. Just be passive. It's honestly fine. It's good. I don't know why I'm saying it's fine. It's just straight up good. I will admit, this one clip, be a little bit careful, guys. You don't want to be like Ana. As we talked about, silences are actually a hard counter to Pudge. If you don't get off Flesh Heap, you're really not tanky. So just be careful, because we'll see in this clip here, he makes a slight mistake, a little bit of rust potentially, because he goes in and he doesn't click Flesh Heap. He gets silenced by Puck. A little bit unfortunate on the timing, but at the end of the day, you might as well pre-click it if you're against silences. If you're not against silences, you can hold it a little bit, wait till the enemy is actually going on you, and then pop it, right? Unfortunately, gets a little bit unlucky. Also doesn't pop his Crimson until slightly late, so kind of just a meh execution. Does live, though. Thankfully, he had a 4-staff and a Wyvern, and actually lives on 1 HP. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, but on a different note, we're getting 30 minutes into the game here, and this is where things start to take off. First of all, he's got the Paladin Sword giving him some bonus spell lifesteal, 8% here. On top of that, it just amplifies the healing in general by 14%. Very powerful item on Pudge, especially if you have a spell lifesteal build already. He doesn't this game, so it's not that OP, honestly, this game. I honestly think there's even better items, but either way, let's get into this fight. This is the fight that really blew me away. I was so confused. So when you're playing Pudge, it's very simple. If the heroes don't have BKB, you can kind of just go in and you want a frontline for your team, especially in a game like this, where he's got a Nature's Prophet and a Viper, as well as even a Wyvern. You know, he's got so many heroes that don't want to go in first, that don't want to be the guy who gets gone on. It's just perfect. Goes in with the Crimson, pops his Flesh Heap, and yeah, he's going to take no damage from this Wukong. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. He takes no damage from the Wukong. The Monkey King leapt away. He's like, yep, my OP ultimate that no one can walk into there's just a guy walking through it with full HP. Also, keep in mind he doesn't go BKB this game, which I really like. I think most games it's pretty trash, but honestly they do almost no spell damage. There's also not really a Spirit Vessel buyer, so you don't really have to worry about that, which can be a bit of a counter to Pudge, but there is no buyer of that item this game. It does not need to be concerned as a result. And yeah, the Shiva's Crimson against Monkey King is perfect, because the only thing that really can kill him is either getting pre-silenced by Puck, but okay, but whatever, then you should just click Fleshy preemptively when you jump in. And on top of that, you know, the main damage to Monkey King. Monkey King definitely is a bit of a threat to Pudge. With these items, yeah, I mean, you just don't die. I don't even, they literally can't kill him. I'm not even just saying that. They don't have a single hero that really threatens him at this point in the game. So I like that RNG played this game really slow. It's only 12 to 14, like a brutally slow game, but honestly, I think this favors RNG this game. What a curse on the backline here. And oh boy, the rot on the 3. Monkey King starts hitting him. It's so sad. I gotta play this back. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, the Beastmaster gets gone on, right? Probably should have reacted a little bit faster to the curse and just gotten in, because it would have been really good if he could have dismembered the Monkey King. I guess he would have gotten lifted, so that's not really practical, but gets the flesh heap off, and it just 0 damage. Dismember onto the Dazzle, takes him out. Monkey King goes on him, drops the ring. Maybe with the flesh heap ending, he could potentially die, but even then, it's just not enough, right? He's like literally manning up to what you would consider a hard counter, and it's just not a problem. One thing to note about Pudge as well that Ana kind of shows off this game as well is that you don't really have to play him in this like brute force, blink in playstyle. Like for instance, this Nyx Assassin like really messes up here, misses the stun, and somehow he has the awareness. I was pretty surprised. He has the awareness. Took him a second, but to shard, he got a shard from Roche. If you don't know what Pudge Shard does, you can eat your teammates, and it lowers the cooldown of Flesh Heap. Really, really strong. And yeah, he's able to actually just save his Nyx Assassin. From there, you can also disengage, right, your initiators, or if someone messes up, you can disengage and then go for a hook. Unfortunately, great Force Staff onto the monkey there, otherwise that would have been a really nice hook. And the thing is, what people don't understand about Dota is, like, think to Team Spirit TI, guys. Remember when the Magnus would horn toss skewer everyone? The main advantage of that is that you bring the fight to your team. No one has to overextend, you get to play in your own vision, and you're isolating a target that everyone can go on at the same time. Pudge Hook is a broken ability when hit, especially if you're bringing them into your team, and so you can still play him like that later into the game, right? You could absolutely play him that way, and it's a good thing, right? If you can hit a hook and it isolates someone, and then the enemy team has to go on you because you hit the hook, it's really a great scenario as well. So can you blink on the backline? Absolutely, but if let's say the game is a bit difficult, or your teammate messes up like we saw from Ana there, you can save them, right? That's totally fine. Really nice hook onto the monkey there. At this point, he's not completely unkillable, but he's pretty close to it. Especially when the Flesh Heap gets activated, he's just, yeah. On top of that, what's really cool as well is when you get off a really big Dismember on this hero, even though he didn't even take the level 25 Dismember talent, which I thought was a bit weird. I think the only reason why I actually agree with it, now that I'm thinking about it, he didn't take the Dismember damage heal. The only reason I agree is because he doesn't have a BKB, so it's pretty unlikely he's going to get off a full duration Dismember. Even though he does in this clip, I feel like that's the exception because of the lack of BKB. So I kind of get him taking the Flesh Heap strength and damage block bonuses. It makes sense this game, even though I think it's generally the worst talent. But alright, that's going to be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Ana's Pudge just as much as I did. Really such a big fan of this hero. The fact that it's like a carry now is so cool. I really love the state of Pudge, and I hope they don't nerf the hero too hard, or at all, because I really like where Pudge is. I honestly think the hero's in a cool spot, and I hope he stays that way. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!